Hello, 2019 Williamson County Association of Realtors Bylaws Committee. We met yesterday, January 29th, to discuss the Williamson County bylaws and discuss the NAR required provisions that they require that we put in our bylaws. So we decided at the end of that meeting that we were going to go ahead and implement the required language, and I have done so, and I think it's easier if I show you in this video what was changed because there's a lot of jostling around and I don't want you to spend hours of playing hunt and fish, so I thought maybe it'd be easier if I just show you. So here's a copy of our current approved bylaws dated March 15th, 2018. This is a non-redlined version. This is approved. So let's first discuss and verify this information that I presented you yesterday regarding the NAR's notice that the language has to be verbatim. So here on NAR's website, this says, in 2018, NAR ceased publishing annual bylaws. The 2017 modified bylaws for local and state associations continue to be available. And they have issued this common sense, what they're calling common sense governance. So if you click over here and you look at model bylaws for state associations and model bylaws for local associations and boards, it brings up this page here, which is the NAR page, Association Governing Document Review Process. This is the most recent version. It says local and state associations of realtors are required to demonstrate compliance with NAR's mandatory policies by periodically sending its governing documents to NAR for review. Beginning in 2018, NAR is implementing a new streamlined bylaws compliance process. From now on, there is no need for associations to submit bylaws for review by NAR. You just need to certify that your association bylaws include mandatory provisions that NAR requires to be adopted verbatim. And so when I read this page, I did some more research and I learned exactly what those are. Now, it goes on that there's some MLS stuff that we have to do, but that's not at our local level, that's at the CTX MLS level. So as I went down, I found a copy of this document here, which is those provisions, those 5 provisions that NAR is requiring that we have in our bylaws verbatim. Paragraph 1 is membership. Paragraph 2 is code of ethics. Paragraph 3 is realtor trademark. Paragraph 4 is state and national membership. And then the final paragraph 5 is dues. So NAR is telling us that it is required that we have these 5 paragraphs in our bylaws verbatim. So the first exercise is I want to show you where in our bylaws they currently are, which is a pretty easy thing. So let's move this aside. Let's grab sorry, a little general housekeeping here, trying to get this all on the screen so you can all see. Okay, so paragraph 1 here is membership and realtor members. Now, this is on our paragraph 5, page 5, paragraph 2. So if we go down to page 5, you will see under members, let's start over. Page 2, under Article 6, membership, it says Realtors members. Realtors members, which is this top paragraph here, and then it goes on to say Realtor members, whether primary or secondary, shall be. They have 3 paragraphs. Unfortunately, we have paragraphs that go on to exceed what they have. And so that paragraph is here, but it's not verbatim. This next paragraph down here where it says individuals, that is the second paragraph, but then we go further down. This paragraph, franchise, is right here, which is franchise realtor membership. And then we have our primary, secondary realtor membership here, which is primary and secondary realtor membership is here. The next paragraph is designated realtors, which we have right here on the bottom of page 2. And then the next page, institute affiliate members. That's over here on page 3 under Institute Affiliate Members. Now, we go on to privileges and obligation, and they have that as their paragraph 1, but we don't. We go on to affiliate members, public service members, honorary members, and student members. These members are in our bylaws that they don't address at the NAR level, and that's okay. We can have that because none of this language contradicts any of the language that we had before. So to see these paragraphs, the privileges of realtors and the obligation, that requires us to go to page 7 and skip ahead. Right here, and we're going to look at section 6. Page 7. So, let's see, privileges of realtors. It says realtor members, whether primary or secondary. Page 7, section 6. Members in good standing whose financial obligations of the association are paid in full and whose office resides within. Realtor members, whether primary or secondary, in good standing whose financial obligations of the association are paid in full shall be entitled. So this paragraph, good standing whose financial, this paragraph is here, but it's not verbatim. And then it also goes on, if a realtor member is a sole proprietor in a firm, it talks about other language. But this is this paragraph. And then the obligation of realtor members is on page 9. So we're going to skip ahead again. Section 2, it shall be the duty and responsibility of every realtor member in the association to abide by the Constitution and bylaws. It shall be the duty and responsibility of every realtor member of this association to abide by the Constitution and bylaws. This paragraph, if you read it, is not verbatim, but it is in here. And then we have this alternate disputes. Now, it's important to note that this is one of those if or then kind of a thing. This is if we are going to be an association that is arbitrating right here, or if we're going to mediate here. We arbitrate, so this is the paragraph that we use, and we cross this one out. Now let's skip over to paragraph 2. Where does this exist? This is going to go back up to page 5. And here we are. New Member Code of Ethics Orientation. Now under section 4, which is right here, New Member Code of Ethics Orientation. Applicants for realtor membership and provisional realtor members. Applicants for realtor membership and provisional realtor members. So this paragraph here exists here. We have 120 days filled in this blank here, which is the days you have to get new member orientation completed. Moving on to continuing Realtor Code of Ethics training. That's on page 6, section 5, which is here. There's a couple typos in here, but that's okay. That's in here, but again, it's not verbatim. But these two paragraphs are right here under section 5. And then moving further, discipline of realtor members. If we skip ahead to page 7, we look at section 3. Any realtor member of the association may be disciplined by the board of directors for violations. That is, any realtor member of the association may be disciplined by the board of directors for violations. So that's where that paragraph is. Skipping ahead to page 9 for the enforcement of the code. Again, we're going to move ahead to page 9, enforcement of the code, which is section 1. We have it under the professional standards and arbitration. The responsibility of the association and the association members are related to enforcement of the code of ethics. The responsibility of the association regarding the enforcement of the code of ethics. That's where we have these paragraphs. So moving ahead to realtor trademark and where that exists, that's up here on page 10 under section 1, realtor trademark. This is a 5-paragraph thing. We have it broken down into section 1, 2, 3, 4. Paragraph 4 is 2 paragraphs, and then section 5. So as they have it as 1 paragraph, we've broken it down into sections from Article 8, which is fine. Moving on to the next one, state and national membership. That is right here, section 1, the association shall be a member of, the association shall be a member of, and then we, of course, have our Texas realtors that we've put in here because that is the state. It's interesting to note that the model bylaws are saying that this is to be verbatim, and it says in here, and the blank state Association of Realtors. And the Texas Association of Realtors is rebranding themselves to be called Texas Realtors, but they are still an entity, and their formation is Texas Association of Realtors. So I believe that our changing our association documents to just say Texas Realtors, I think that's a lot like TAR saying that they want to be called TAR or TR or Texas Realtors, and that's what they want to be known as. But their organization name remains to be Texas Association of Realtors. So I believe that we need to change this back to state Texas Association of Realtors so that our language is verbatim, and if NAR revises this document, then we can. But that's a conversation for the committee, of course. But each one of these paragraphs follows down into these sections. Section 5 dues. Now, Section 5 dues is right here in this document. Same thing, we have student membership dues. Okay, on page 11 right here, starting with application fee. Application fee is the Section 1. And then the designated realtors we have as Section 2, which follows down. Where does Section 2 go? Section 2, that's this, annual for member shall be. So it says the annual dues of each designated realtor member shall be, and it says the annual dues of each designated realtor will be. But it says the annual dues of members shall be as follows. And so they're talking about designated realtors here, and then they go down and they talk about realtor members. So this language needs to be updated because it's not following. We are labeling this members and they're labeling this DR. The next paragraph all follows in suit. What's interesting is this paragraph here. The exception for any licensee, that doesn't exist anywhere in this entire document. So this paragraph is gone and it's going to need to be added. Over here, this paragraph is on page 12. It's item number section. Page 12.2. The annual dues of each realtor, members' dues shall be prorated. That's this paragraph here. And then member dues under realtor is the section 2, the annual dues of each realtor, the annual dues of each realtor. And then institute affiliate members, we have that on section 7, institute. And then we have this paragraph here that we have underneath this. So as you can see, we've got some language that they don't, and we're missing some language that's required, and it's all kind of just been tossed around in different sections of the bylaws. So I took a crack at updating it so that it has kind of a more linear flow. So under membership, if we go down to our membership, then realtor members, and then the paragraphs verbatim here. And then section 2 is this franchise realtor membership, primary and secondary realtor members, designated realtor members, moving along, institute affiliate members, privileges of realtor members. Now we go on to having affiliate members and public service members and honorary members and student members. So then I added the privileges of members here underneath these other sections that we have that they don't. And then obligation of realtor members, I put that here and pulled those out of the other sections. And again, because we are using arbitrate, I used the arbitrate paragraph in this section here. Okay, so now Code of Ethics and Training. So we're going to pass by paragraph 5. And we're going to get to our Code of Ethics section, which is our Article 7. And we have new member Code of Ethics orientation. Section 1, new member Code of Ethics orientation. And then the paragraph here, 120 days, I filled that in. Continuing Realtor Code of Ethics training. And then those 3 paragraphs here. And then we have discipline of realtor members, which is our next paragraph here. Enforcement of the code, realtor trademark. We have that broken out as another Article 8. And so that article comes next. Use of the term realtor and realtors. This used to be a paragraph that they've taken out, but I've left it here and made Section 1 realtor trademark. They have 5 paragraphs here. And so we have broken into Section 1, the inclusion paragraph, and then use of the realtor term paragraph, and then realtor members under Section 3. Section 4, realtor principal member, a realtor principal member, and then the last 2 paragraphs, which is our Section 4 and then Section 5. So all of those paragraphs exist. This is 2 paragraphs in the same, so we left that under Section 4, which is the way we had it before. Our Section 4 here is state and national membership. State and national membership. We have our paragraphs here, which is our 1, 2, and 3. And then the next section is dues. So then the next section is dues. We have application fee, designated realtor member dues, and then those paragraphs that follow. And then we have member dues here, and then institute affiliate member dues. So as you see, I've reordered the bylaws to have a better flow with this document. So if this document's changed, then we'll have a much easier time following it. And I think the members will have an easier time following it as well. There's also another important thing to note. There was one other change that I made that I think is important to note. If we go to the bottom of the approved bylaws, again, these are the March 15, 2018 bylaws, and we look at the very last paragraph. The very last paragraph says, article, by the way, I guess I missed Roman numeral in high school, because when you get into 12, 13, 14, and higher than that, it takes me a few minutes to figure out what in the world that is. I think a lot of our members are going to have that same issue, so if nobody has any objections, I did what we did in our Code of Ethics, and I got rid of the Roman numerals, and I actually put the numbers there, because if I asked you to go to Article 14 in our bylaws, it is a full-time job trying to get there. So I think it's so much easier for our realtor members to be able to follow it this way. But anyway, if you go to our last paragraph, which is Article 19, here. This says the Williamson County Association of Realtors is a shareholder in the CTX MLS system. And that's not true. The CTX MLS system is CoreLogic's matrix, and we are not a shareholder in CoreLogic's matrix. We are a shareholder in the entity Central Texas Multiple Listing System. And so I changed this sentence because this is wrong. If we were a shareholder in the CTX MLS system, that would elevate us to the millionaire class. We are not quite there yet. So I corrected this sentence to say that the Williamson County Association of Realtors is a shareholder of the Central Texas Multiple Listing Service, Inc. We are a shareholder in this entity. We are not a shareholder in this system. So other than changing the paragraphs from a Roman numeral to a number and fixing this sentence because it's just incorrect and reordering the paragraphs, we are in the same we're working with the same set of bylaws. I also changed it so you can see when you're in an article, what article you're under easier. Our article here is centered, and as you get into some of these longer ones, it's harder to tell what article you're under, and so you have to start hunting. And it's also sometimes confusing to see what section you're under. So I just tabulated it a little bit differently. I put the article to the left and I indented the section and indented the paragraph. So you can really see where Article 2, Section 3 is. It's much easier to get there. So, but the content is the same. So this is what I put together for you. I've emailed it all out for approval. Please take a look at it. And if you have any questions, please get back with me. Thank you for your hard work. I appreciate serving with you.